exciting and new. Going forward, we're expecting you. The love boat, so we'll be making another run. It's love, welcome aboard, it's love.
And welcome aboard. Oh, it is love. Boy, I'm feeling the love today. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. So, welcome. This is the last Connect with Princess of the Year. Whew, can you believe it? I can't believe it. I'm just in shock. This year has gone by quick. By the way, if I feel like I'm in a haze or I'm a little bit like a deer caught in headlights, I literally just walked in the door of my place, my home from New York City, where I was there last week. There's a slide on it, so wait for it. So excited at the Travel Weekly Awards. Of course, as always, I'm Carmen Roy, VP of Sales North America, and it is phenomenal to be here with all of you again for the last webinar of this year. But I will tell you, 2023, folks, wait for it. It is going to be spectacular. Now, as always, you all know live transcript available on Facebook. Really important. So at the end of the webinar, and last time I think you all said we went so quick you couldn't even hear what I was saying, which is all exciting. We will do Q&As at the end. And again, the live transcript always available on Facebook, which is really phenomenal. So make sure you stick around at the end of the webinar. I know I have an amazing team that answers your questions live. Um, for those of you who have been posing questions and comments throughout the week, I was in New York, so I did see them on the webpage, and I promise that we will be able to take a look at them as well. So let's move that right along. I think the next slide, oh, you guys have seen the slide of my family. You've seen that time and time again. The Q&As are at the end, so it's pretty fantastic. You know what to do. We've been doing this for a while. But then, of course, you know I'm going to be joined by my sidekick, the one and only Marsha Patrick. Marsha. She's lovingly known to all of you and to me as well. And we got a lot because last week, Marsha, myself, and the entire sales team were in Fort Lauderdale for a national sales meeting. So it was pretty exciting. And we did a lot of training last week. And when I say a lot of training, I mean, this were 7 a.m. startup days, and we went through till the evenings, 10, 11 o'clock with dinners and lots of wonderful bonding. And it was really a spectacular sales meeting. So you are all in for quite a treat today because we also have a very special guest. But first, I want to say thank you. So you were with us every time I told you that Princess was nominated in 21 categories. And by the way, I think that was the first time ever we were in so many categories, which was spectacular.
Yes.
But Marsha and I kept telling, right, Marsha, what do we keep saying? It's not about how many we win, it's about the quality of we won. And what I
Yes.
personally wanted was number one cruise line in Alaska, right?
Woo!
That was, I'm holding my head on that. That was all I wanted. That was all I was waiting for. Marsha wanted best group
I did.
program in the industry. No tears. We shed no tears because that means now we have something to strive for next year, Marsha. But I want to
We
thank
do.
every one of our travel partners. And also, I want to do a shout out to the North Star team, right? Travel Weekly team, Mary Pat, Jay, Bob. Oh my God,
They put on
Anthony,
amazing events.
Alicia. But this was the best I've ever been to because this
Yes.
year we did it at the Museum of Natural History. The venue was a wow. It was spectacular. I mean, it was just, by the way, that's why I'm dressed in sequins. I literally came in, put on my dress from last night, little lipstick, fluffed up the hair because I wanted to make this a celebration. If you
Yes.
do not know what the Reader's Choice Awards are, it's like the Oscars for our industry. I mean, that's
Yes.
what I call them, Marsha. I don't know what you call
It's
them.
true.
That's what I do.
Yes.
And it's really very competitive. And you got to understand, there's some really amazing companies out there. So to be, and the best part, this is the part that I love. This is why it's a third party endorsement, which is why it's so important. It's voted on by you, our travel partners. There's several, iterations of this, but then when you make it to the final list, the winners are picked by you. To
Yes.
me, that has no other, uh, it has no rival. That is the most important component. So from the bottom of my heart, and on behalf of our entire Princess family that is on board, our incredible onboard teammates, as well as ashore globally, I want to thank you. Best in Alaska, number one cruise line in Alaska. That's 16 straight years in a row. So I did a big deep breath. I think I did cartwheels. I don't really remember. Thank God it was a really. It's a long dress, so nobody was hurt. There was no wardrobe malfunctions. Thank God. And then we got best shipboard technology. Now, why is that so important, folks? Because the differentiator for our brand with Medallion Class, right?
Yeah.
This is a huge salute. And by the way, John Paget, our president, was there, who is the mastermind, right? He's the techie who brought Medallion Class and this whole experience. So I'm so proud of the teams on board. Like everything, it's not about the technology, it's what we do with the technology that allows us really to be best in class and very personalized, right? With your clients. So I was I mean, listen, they also had Lifetime Achievement Awards. So Arnold Donald was there, and as you know, he has stepped aside from the board, but he's still part of the board. And he was there, and they were honoring him with a Lifetime Achievement Award, which was spectacular. They also honored Matthew Upchurch with Virtuoso and Scully. It was just really wonderful. But
Wow.
best cruise line in Alaska, Marcia. I was thinking of you.
We're
Best
always on pins
shipboard
and needles, you
technology.
know. We do not rest on our laurels, right? So every year this is special. I'm
It,
super excited.
it's a big deal. We cannot take
Yeah.
this for granted. Now, of course, I had a little added stress. You know why, Marcia? Because if we lost it this year, that's it. It's because I'm here.
Guess whose fault that would have been.
Ah, thanks a lot, Marcia. No pressure. And then a huge shout out to Natasha and our entire team with Princess Academy,
Yay.
best travel advisor education program. And let me tell you, I was happy if we won one and two, and
Yeah.
obviously we didn't win the groups, but we will
I
next year,
know.
Marcia,
You don't
because
you
we're going
don't
to
have to
start
keep
campaigning
saying
now.
that. Let's
We're
just
going to start
put it
campaigning
in the
now,
past.
Marcia. We're going to have a big think tank next week. But
But
just wanted to say thanks to everybody. We
I do.
really
And
appreciate your
I
support.
want to hone in on this Best Travel Advisor Education Program because Natasha and the team, they put in so much work, so many hours of work, and then it all comes back to us, right? Because you guys always talk about how in depth the training is, that you learn a lot, that you really are getting, you really are becoming an Alaska expert when you
And it's
take our
best in
program.
class.
It is
Best in
absolutely
class.
best in class.
Oh my God, the kind of passion and the investment of time and effort, it's just great. So I won't, I got to tell you, thank you for the holiday gift, whether it's Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate, just know
Yes,
that you all gave us the very best gift of the season by voting and believing in us and this confidence. It's just phenomenal. So I want to say thank you.
absolutely.
I'm
Thank
getting all
you.
verklempt. Talk amongst yourselves. Talk amongst yourselves. Oh my God. And of course, I love this boat, our new anthem commercial. Welcome aboard. It's with a female voice. So no more
I
Cal
won't
trying to
sing.
sing it, okay?
I won't
We're
sing. You're
taking that
welcome.
we're taking the hook and getting them off. So the love boat. And as you all know, we've had the real love boat ongoing, right? And you've
Yep.
been tuning in Paramount
It's
Plus
getting good. It's been good, but it's
streaming.
getting real good.
You know what? Next week, right? It is the final episode, right? Isn't it like a 2 day next week?
Yes.
This is
Yes.
it. And
Yeah.
this is our last webinar. Oh, Marsha, we might have to do another one next Thursday. I know you don't want to do that. You really want this to be the last one. Marsha's saying, I'm going to kill her. No, no. We will still do the cruise giveaway. Remember, we've been giving away a 7 day cruise for each episode, Mexico Caribbean voyage in a balcony. And all you had to do was really watch, tune in, and then answer the show. And so let me give you episode 11's question. Okay. Dun, da, da. Do we have, we're not going to do drum roll. Drum rolls are when I'm announcing last week's
Yes.
winners. But
Winners.
in episode 11, what type of food did the contestants have to gather while in Sicily? Was it A,
Hmm.
oranges, B, grapes,
Right.
C, olives, or D, apples? That's the question for episode 11. Enter to win. Just answer the question correctly. And of course, the QR codes. This is how you can do it. So you can enter with Princess Travel Advisor newsletter. We'll send it to you. We got the link right in there. You can go to onesourcecruise.com on the homepage. There is the QR codes. I love our QR codes. It's so much easier. I wish I could. Could I enter to win? Am I allowed? No, right? I'm
No.
not allowed. Okay.
No. If we
Listen,
drew your name, I think we'd have to throw it back.
well, you know what? I am going on a Princess Cruise anyway. You know what I'm talking about?
I
That's right.
do.
December
It's your
28th, my
holiday.
first vacation, December 28th for 10 days, Panama Canal. Can't wait. Caribbean Princess, I am there. I'm going to be in this state of counting down the days. Episode 9 and 10. This is where I get my drum roll, right?
Yes. I love
Ta-da!
it.
Episode 9's winner is
Susan Archer of Marlin Travel in Duncan, British Columbia.
fantastic.
Woo! Congratulations, Susan.
Fantastic. Susan Archer, Marlin Travel, and then I'm gonna say number 10. Episode number 10.
Okay.
Why? Why? Because this is my hometown.
Okay.
Reynaldo Valdez of Archer Travel Service. Oh, is that possible? So it's Susan Archer and Reynaldo Valdez of Archer Travel Service, but
Yeah.
he's located in Miami Lakes.
Yes.
That was my hometown until I moved down to what's called Edgewater, right? So congratulations to both Susan and Reynaldo for getting it right as we're approaching the end of the Real Love Boat season next week.
Yes.
The chances for free cruise giveaways weekly is la 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 coming to an end, but it was exciting.
Yes. And so we won't have a webinar, but we will still announce a winner in
Yes, we
our
will.
travel advisor newsletter, and we
Yes,
will
we will.
contact you if you win as well.
And the timing's amazing because the next week's it's back-to-back episodes. I think it was a 2-day thing. Don't hold me
It
on
is.
that because I'm
I think
still
it
in
is
this
too.
Travel Weekly Awards. Yeah,
Flow.
what do I? Yes, yes. It's either that or hypertension. I'm not quite sure which one it is, Marcia, but I think it's a glow.
Let's
It's
call
a
it
glow.
glow.
It was really cold in New York, by the way. I got out of Dodge just in time because there was going to be a snowstorm. Could you imagine me? I was freezing. Anyway, I'm
I
just happy to
cannot.
have been there. Happy to be there.
So,
So, of course, next week episodes, we will announce the winners in the TA newsletter. So just make sure you read the newsletter. We'll make sure that we announce, but obviously last week's winners,
yes.
congratulations, or 9 and 10, or 10 and 11. No, 9 and 10, 11's this week. We have a
Yes.
special guest today.
We do.
Talk to me. Crystal Morgan, our
Our
Senior
very own.
Director,
Hi,
Deployment
everyone.
and Itinerary Planning. Crystal, welcome aboard.
Thank
Welcome
you.
aboard. Welcome to
Welcome
coming to Connect with
aboard.
Princess.
It's love.
Yes, it is. And you know what I love? I love what you do. It is a tough job.
I love what
People
you
don't
do.
Yeah.
understand. You want to trade places? I wish
Yeah,
I could do
okay.
what you do. I can't do what you do because this is a science, okay? Deployment, itinerary planning. This is where it all begins, right? This is where you
Yep.
lay the foundation for our year when we're going to launch a whole new set of voyages. And it's because
hmm
you do this work and you've been with us for 30 years. You had 8
Yep.
years on board, which is like in and of itself, it's like the Real Love Boat. It's that whole life on board experience that you could. This
Yeah.
would have to be a 2-hour webinar, Crystal. You have to come back and Marcia and I we do the Oprah thing and we'll interview you and then you get a
Yeah.
cruise and you get a cruise and you get a cruise. But 110 plus destinations visited. Have you been to all the continents? Real quick question.
Oh, great question. And no, I have not. Guess which one I have not been to?
What are you missing? An expedition cruise, right?
Antarctica.
Of
I was
course.
just
Expedition
going to
cruise.
say that.
Can
Antarctica.
I
I was
tell
Yeah.
thinking
you?
that.
I got
Yeah.
the best brand for you for that. Seabourn, our
I
sister
know.
company. Let's get this
Well,
done.
I have a really good team that does all the work with us for itinerary deployments, and one of my team members is currently in Antarctica, and my other team member is going in January. So I'm staying back
Beautiful.
to
Not
hold
the
down the
same thing.
fort.
I need you there. Okay. Hold down,
Yeah.
hold down the port and hold down the fort. I love that. Crystal, I got to tell you, it is how many years in advance? Well, now, it's not, it's like pre-pause and post-pause, but before from 2019 previously, how long does it take you to really start developing these itineraries? Is it 18 months? Is it 2 years?
Yeah, it's a great question. So typically we have our kind of 10-year vision. So we like to think of this of we're looking at where do we want our fleet to be in 10 years time, in 5 years time, then down to like what time do we arrive in every port of call? So it's that kind of detail that drills down to all that kind of detail. So we're typically working about 2 to 3 years kind of in advance as our day to
Wow.
day. And then we do our strategic planning for 5 to 10 years, in particular when the new ships come online. Then we really need to have a hard think about where do we want those ships to come in for their inaugural seasons? How does that impact the rest of the fleet? And so we're definitely kind of always looking forward. I could tell you where the ships are going to be in 2024. I don't know where they are today, but
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. I love it. Why would you? You've moved beyond today. But I'll tell you this, I just want to give you a really big shout out to you and the team because during all of this restart, and even in 21, right, when we started, we had limited destinations that would accept cruises, right? We had all these
Right.
protocols, and I've got to give you guys such credit because I can't imagine for a process that's so regimented and so planned out, so strategic with 5 to 10 years and so well thought out from a fuel consumption to tidal conditions. I mean, this is like detailed stuff that people don't know behind the scenes, and you get obviously the captain's input, you get everybody's operational input, and
Yep.
so it's a nice secret sauce. But in 21, didn't matter what you had, it could change in a heartbeat
Right.
within
Oh
the
yeah,
week,
we
right?
we were
So
just throwing spaghetti up against the wall, and we also have
bang,
to give a shout out to all the advisors and to all of our guests that have, we were publishing itineraries and then having to change them at the last minute because of new protocols and new things.
painful.
And
Yeah.
so, I think just shows the dedication that people have to cruising once they experience it. You know that they want to come back under any kind of conditions. And I think that the really poignant part of all that was just seeing our crew back on board our ships and getting them back on
Absolutely.
board and all of those great experiences that we have when the first ships, we now have all of them in the water
All
sailing. And so
15.
all
I'm
15.
loving
So
it. So 2023, back to business as usual, but better than as usual because it's going to be
yeah,
the very best year ever. That is what we are focused on. And of course, today we're going to talk with you, which is what it's all about.
Yes.
Europe 2024, right? Because I mean, this is like impressive. 162 departures, 132 destinations, 85 unique itineraries with 5 ships. This one blew me away. Was that a typo? 63 UNESCO World Heritage Sites? Are you kidding? That is
Yeah.
a
well,
major
yeah,
cut.
Europe
That is
is
a
full
major credit.
of
I
full of
know,
them.
but to
So
curate them, let me just tell you, it's a big deal to
Yeah.
really, I mean, get that in there. It's spectacular, absolutely spectacular. And then, of
yeah.
course, even more exciting is yes,
Ta-da!
here comes
Yeah.
the sun. Do do do
I have
do.
on my Here Comes the Sun T-shirt. You can't
Oh, I
see
would
it.
have worn mine, but I'm still feeling like I'm in the Oscars. I promise I was not on the airplane dressed like this. I promise you that. Okay. But the moment I got here, I'm like, open your suitcase, put your dress on. We're gonna keep celebrating. I'll tell you what, can't wait to celebrate. I always look for signs. So Crystal, you might think I'm a real geek, but I do. I always look for signs. So as I'm sitting there last night, the event is over. They're playing the last song. What song do you think they played as everybody left this beautiful venue?
Here comes
The
the sun.
Beatles. Here comes the sun.
Is
And they
it
Oh,
said to
really?
they did. Are you getting goosebumps,
Wow.
Marcia? Because you know how I
Yes.
yeah.
am. That just tells me, I mean, to me, it's like the sky, the moon aligning. It is a sign, not to mention every song they played, I knew the words, right? I was competing with Cal. Name that tune. And I had to jump in there. But our Sun Princess, I mean, gorgeous. I think we did a whole webinar on this, Crystal. So it's really
Yes.
exciting. And I know Marcia's going to get in a deep dive and you're going to get in a deep dive because it is absolutely gorgeous. Now, I know when we introed, we had limited optics, right? We had
Yep.
some, sketches, but now we're getting more information. It's even more exciting and reimagining spaces on board while not losing the heritage and legacy of our amazing brand,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Of 57 years of an amazing brand.
Well, I was really excited. In 1995, I was the onboard shore excursion manager and brought out that Sun Princess, which is actually the second of our series. So
That's right.
it's so
Wow.
great to sort of see the new generation and still be a part of the whole experience with Princess. So
I
love
love
it.
it. What
Can't
the
wait to see it.
biggest class of ship for us? I mean, when you're looking at the number of balconies, the number of decks, 20. By the way, that's a lucky number, right? 21 decks. We were nominated for 21 categories. We're
Yes.
sticking with the theme here, and
Nice.
it's absolutely gorgeous. And do not get terrified about the 4,300 guests, because I got to tell you, folks, that is why the medallion class experience makes this ship. It allows us to have one size fits one service with our clients. So it is it's a game changer. It truly is. So
Absolutely.
I want to see some of the new. I have not seen this presentation, so I have it in front of me, just so everybody knows, because this is
Yep.
gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. I hadn't seen this rendering before.
It is
Beautiful.
just out. Just hit the presses, so you guys are getting a little bit of a sneak peek. It's on One Source as well. But Sun Princess Dining Room is going to have 3 stories. Horizons Dining Room called 3 stories,
Gorgeous.
and look at the beautiful views.
Oh my God,
Right?
like all ocean views, gorgeous,
It's
absolutely
amazing.
gorgeous.
I mean, talk about. I mean, almost every seat there has a beautiful view, right? You know how you've
No,
requested
not
in
a
the
bad
past to
seat
sit
in the
by a
house.
window.
Not
Literally, wherever you sit, you're going to have a fantastic view.
kidding me? You could be in the
Yeah.
center of the dining room and still have an incredible
E-
view. And then the
exactly.
International Cafe, that's my favorite spot. Well, the Piazza is my favorite spot, but I love the International Cafe because that's my people watching spot and where I hold court, Crystal. This is where I do all my meetings, my one-on-ones. Over caffeinated, okay? It's not a good thing.
No such
Coffee and
thing.
croissants. I love
Beautiful
the
picture,
colors in here.
Yeah, really
gorgeous.
Just
pretty.
beautiful.
And again, look at the views, right? That's the
Yep.
whole point, right? This is a sphere class ship and it's really game changing in the industry and game changing for our brand. So I'm super excited. By the way, 2024 is almost here, folks. We're almost in 23. Think about that.
I know.
So we have very little to wait to have this gorgeous ship. And I've been keeping track of the developments at the shipyard. It looks spectacular. Um, What else? Oh,
Ic-
Crown Grill.
Iconic
Ooh,
That looks amazing.
Crown Grill. I love the
gorgeous.
booth seating. I'm a fan of booth seating. It's just beautiful. The lighting,
No, very elegant. I'm doing that for my
absolutely.
son's birthday this year when we're on the ship because he's got a birthday on the 29th. So we've booked Crown Grill for him. Whew.
Oh, you're gonna love it.
Oh,
Oh,
and we
you've
also
been
have
before.
Sabatini's, right? Oh, of course I've been before, and it's gorgeous. You've been there
I
sipping
know.
some
I know I'm not supposed to have a
Yeah.
favorite, but
famous with
Sabatini's
me. Oh,
is up
Sabatini's
there.
amazing. That was the first time I met you. Remember, we had our
Yes,
first
it
dinner
was.
together there,
It was.
Sabatini's. Poor Marcia. She was like, "What in the world?" Tutto
Hey, all I'm
bene,
gonna say,
Italiano.
Carmen, is it's a lot of energy, but it's good energy.
I'm
So
tired, my
that's
friend.
good.
Okay, I've been up all night. I did an after party because we win. It's so good to win, you know? It
It is
feels
good
good.
to win.
It really
Yeah.
does feel good. Because
Yep.
when you
Yeah.
lose a lot, you kind of get a whole new appreciation for when you win. I don't take it for granted, my friend. I do not take it for
So,
granted. And now
well,
we start next year's campaign. We begin
we
now
do.
because we're going to have to get best sales support. Because the January webinar, folks, we're going to introduce you to the new organization and our new inside sales service team, which is Princess Partner Support. You're getting a little insider. I'm going to let you take it because I talk a lot. The Princess Arena is gorgeous. That's all I can tell you.
It is.
Oh,
And I just want to remind everybody too about the fresh made pasta every single day
Mm.
in Sabatini's. It's like untouchable. So amazing.
I feel like a little gnocchi myself, okay? Like
Yeah.
literally, like I really do.
So, the Princess
Gorgeous.
Theater has evolved into the Princess Arena. Isn't it
This is
beautiful?
cool.
It is so
Spectacular.
cool. I'm so excited about what this can do, especially also for like our large groups, because
Entertainment in the
this,
round. This is
yeah,
spectacular.
entertainment in the
Not a
round.
bad seat in the house. That is
Exactly.
gorgeous.
It is beautiful, and that backdrop can change. The seats there in front of the backdrop can be brought in so that there's more stage area. It's it's just multi-purpose and an amazing venue. I
Yeah.
can't
Yeah,
wait.
and
And
I
everyone has a view. That's amazing. The sight lines are
spectacular.
every corner. That's
I
amazing.
cannot wait.
Yeah,
And with
that
technology,
LCD
yeah,
panel, the LCD panel is going to help them bring whatever's being performed to life. It's amazing.
I cannot wait. That's going to be
I can't wait.
spectacular.
I want to see
And
it in
with our
person.
entertainment, it's going to be amazing. So I pulled back. I couldn't get my Bluetooth little AirPods in, so I'm using my old-fashioned headset. Okay, talk about
Okay.
staterooms. Get me into
Yeah.
layouts. This is beautiful.
So
Look how beautiful.
staterooms, I don't know if you guys noticed from the layouts, but when you're looking at the deck plans, you'll see that each stateroom, we alternate the staterooms on what is at the entry when you go in, right? So that's important to know for your guests because you can have the option of having the bed be the first thing that you greet you when you walk into the stateroom, or you can select the stateroom that has the sofa, the seating area that is there before you hit your bed area. So it's actually an option to
Love
pick
that.
layout A or layout B, and I think it's pretty cool. It also
And we haven't
changes the
done that
direction
before?
that your bed. Never first
Oh, I
time.
love it.
Yeah,
That's
Okay.
cool
yeah,
because all those people that want to watch sunrise from their bed now have a
yeah,
choice. That's
exactly.
perfect.
It's
Love
really
it.
cool. So,
Beautiful. Oh my God, this is a
hot
ship
tip.
full of firsts.
Now we want to get into the good stuff, which
This
is
is
the
where I'm
actual
on quiet.
itineraries for
I'm gonna
Sun.
be in awe with Crystal and you. Awe. Muting.
I don't know about all, but
This is why we
well,
brought Crystal in. She's such an expert.
well, thank you so much for having me, and it's great to see all this energy, and I'm just so excited about Sun Princess. And all I could think about is that picture of the dining room. Is imagine sitting in that dining room in Santorini and looking out the
Yes,
window and just seeing all the beautiful caldera around it. It's just going to be some amazing, amazing shots. I
yes,
think that the challenge is going to be on these itineraries is whether you stay on board or actually go ashore.
right, right. You're so
So,
right.
so I think what we're really excited about for Sun Princess and for our Europe 2024 program is Sun's inaugural sailings. So for the first time ever, we're going to have sailings starting in February. So that's early winter. It's our longest European Mediterranean season ever. So Sun Princess is going to start off on a series of 10-day itineraries either between Barcelona and Rome or round trip from Rome. And mainly these are going to cover the sort of middle med over to the eastern med. So we have a lot of variations that include Turkey, Santorini, Athens, beautiful places as you can see here on the slides. I think this one that you're looking at right now is the first one. That'll be the one in February. So if you have
Yeah.
people that are love to be on that maiden voyage, this is going to be the one. So make sure you book early to get the right cabin for the inaugural. And then the core of our program will have some of these 10 days itineraries through to about April, picking up some of those great destinations. What I like about all these itineraries is that we were very mindful in that we're allowing for a lot more time ashore. So most of our calls are about 10 to 11 to 12 hours in a lot of these destinations. And then also balances nicely with the sea days because there's so many things to see on board the ship that you really have to sort of marry between the two. People want to see the
Yeah.
destinations, but they also really want to experience everything that's going to be on Sun Princess.
And if
And then
you're
the
like me and kind of you need to rest.
you need a rest. When
It's
I worked on
overrated.
board, yeah, right.
Just
I worked
joking.
on board the Grand Princess when she came out in what year was that? 98? When she was doing
Yeah.
the original Grand Mediterranean itinerary, which was essentially a port almost every day. And I have to tell you, people were exhausted. They needed to book a vacation from their vacation. They were just exhausted, but they saw everything.
Yeah.
So so hopefully, you gotta have Carmen's energy when you take these itineraries.
And by the way, winter Med
Absolutely.
cruising, I got to tell you, I've done the Med in February, and the weather, it's just beautiful. It's not like you're there in the summer when it's super hot, it's
Well,
Yeah,
the
sweltering,
other thing is
and
you're
less
without the
people.
crowds. Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
exactly. Same
Less
thing.
people.
Yep.
And by the way,
yes.
Crystal, we had Captain Paulo of the Real Love Boat, and he's a
Oh,
real captain on one of our Connect with Princesses. It was awesome. And we asked him what his favorite destination was, and he said Istanbul.
Yeah, he
oh
did.
Which
yeah,
you've
Yeah.
got,
yeah,
yeah,
Hmm.
which you've got in here,
yeah.
which is so
Hmm.
exciting, right? He said it was such a surprise. It is absolutely amazing. And
Oh,
I'm hearing that time and time again. So excellent. Okay, so tell me more.
agreed. Yeah. So Istanbul is it's also one of the most beautiful sail-ins when you're on board the ship.
Hmm.
There's so much to see and do. I think most people know that Istanbul is actually it actually spans two continents. So if you're a continent collector, you can do that in one one itinerary.
Wow.
There you
Okay.
go. Right. So the core of Sun Princess's product is going to be our 7-day itineraries. And what I love about this pattern is that we have the ship sail from Rome to Athens to Barcelona, back to Rome to Athens to Barcelona. So there are a series of 7-day itineraries that you can combine into a 14-day itinerary, or even better, a 21-day itinerary to sort of cover it all. And that way you can sail round trip from Rome, round trip from Barcelona, round trip from Athens, and that covers the whole length and breadth of the Mediterranean. So, if you have the time, even if you don't have the time, we've got the best Wi-Fi at sea. Go on board and work for the summer on board one of these itineraries.
I
I'm
wish,
trying to
can I
convince.
go for 21 days? I would like to go for
Let
21 days. I want to put in my vacation time now. I'm just saying. But can I tell you, I always say as a selling tip, airfare is expensive, folks. Okay. That's
Yes.
why I think home porting is so important. Now
Hmm.
more than ever, people want to drive, even the gas prices aren't that great either. But you know what I mean? We're going to get a
Yep,
silver lining. So the silver lining is if you're going to go all the way there, sell that airplane. The longer that you have in the voyage when you do these back to backs, you can amortize the cost of that air
Right.
cost, and it is such a great seller to have your clients extend and do back to backs because this is
yep,
beautiful itineraries.
yeah, yeah, and they're
Absolutely.
total. And then you're on the no. It's like it's always a new group of people coming on every 7 days, and it's a great experience, and you'll love it. A few of the questions I see popping up is somebody asked about a White Lotus tour from Sicily. Great idea. We're gonna look into
Hmm.
that. Anyway, no
How about a
spoilers. I
group?
haven't I haven't I haven't seen that season yet, so no spoilers on that.
Huh.
And I agree with Devin that Kotor is one of the most beautiful places in the Mediterranean. It's kind of like one of those hidden gems. It's actually the longest fjord in the Mediterranean. And I think anybody that's been there on a ship, it's just such a beautiful sail in and sail out. Just a really, really great place. So we like to see that on as many as itineraries as we can. So that's kind of the Sun Princess. So, that's a big part of our 2024 program. She'll be there from February all the way into the fall, where she's going to come across on her first transatlantic cruise to Fort Lauderdale. But also, we spent a lot of time, hand curating the Island Princesses itineraries. So, what's really exciting is having Island Princess come to Europe. She hasn't been there for a while in the Mediterranean per se. She's been doing a lot of our Northern Europe itineraries in the past. We're going to dedicate her into the Mediterranean for 2024, which is really exciting. I think many of you that have been been with us a long time know that during the pandemic, Pacific Princess left the fleet. So we're kind of having Island Princess be our small boutique ship that can do some of these one-off itineraries and visit some of the places that maybe the larger ships don't visit during their deployments. One of my favorites is our Mediterranean Israel itinerary, and this goes to a full day call into Haifa and a full day call into Ashdod. So you're getting into that corner of the Mediterranean that isn't really included on the other larger ships. Great itinerary between Rome and Athens. Also visiting Mykonos and some of the other Greek isles. And this we'll do a couple of times in the fall. We also have some really good itineraries throughout the summer, including a couple of round trip Rome itineraries. And also we're going into Trieste for a turnaround for the first time with this ship. So this is what we'd call an open jaw itinerary between Rome and Venice. It's got KOTOR, it's got Devon's favorite place here, as well as Malta. That's one of my favorite destinations in the Mediterranean. I spent a whole 2-week vacation there very long time ago, and I just fell in love with the island and the history and just the sort of uniqueness of that destination. But in Trieste, so Trieste is about a 2-hour drive outside of Venice. But so for guests coming into Venice, definitely recommend taking a land vacation, adding on to that experience to see that part of Italy, and then joining the ship or leaving in Trieste. And so this will be in the fall for Island Princess. So make sure you look at the details for Island, because I think each one itinerary has its own uniqueness. If we had all day, we certainly would would talk about every one of them. But I think we're going to continue on with Northern Europe, some of the Northern Europe itineraries. So just as a recap for what ships are going to be in the Mediterranean for 2024. So we talked about Sun Princess. She'll be there from February through to the fall. Sky Princess will also have Mediterranean itineraries, and those will be sailing from Southampton, from London. So for those that maybe want to do a flight into Northern Europe instead of the Mediterranean, she'll have some itineraries throughout the season as well. And then Caribbean has a handful of itineraries as well in the late fall out of the Mediterranean. She'll be mainly based in Southampton for the summer, and then coming into the Mediterranean to do a maintenance period, to do a dry dock in the fall. And so she'll have some Mediterranean itineraries. And then Island is really that jewel if you're looking for that off the beaten path itinerary. Once you go on Sun Princess, then your second cruise in the Mediterranean in 2024 can be on Island Princess.
I'll take it.
So yeah,
Sign me up.
perfect. And then let's not forget about the cruise tours, and these are some of my favorite places in Europe as well. And I have to say that one year I spent New Year's Eve in Madrid. Fun city. If you like food and you like socializing, and everybody's just out and drinking wine and having tapas, and it's one of my most favorite experiences in Spain.
Spoiler alert. Hello, Crystal. They do that all the time. It's not just New Year's.
I know,
Every time
but
you
I
go to
loved it.
Spain.
I loved
That's
it.
how they live their life. It's a beautiful thing. I think we should bring that on over to the States. Okay?
Oh, I
Every
agree.
night's a
Oh,
party.
every night's a tapas party. I love it. Love it. Love it.
Love
But
it.
it's such a beautiful city. And the Prado Museum is one of my favorite places in the world as well. And then also the Best of Greece. This is a great itinerary as well. And in Kalambaka is where they go to see Medioria, which is the monasteries. And if you've ever seen a picture of those monasteries up on that very tall cliff, I think they're probably featured in every James Bond movie that was ever made. But that's a great land package. So all the places that we don't necessarily get to see on a ship add on to these great cruise tours. And the great thing about Sun Princess is that because we have the 7, 14, 21-day combinations, is that you can combine the lengths of these for either a land package plus the 7-day or the 14-day, and really kind of cater the length of that experience in the Mediterranean. So yeah, let's not forget about those.
We have rave reviews about our cruise tour offerings. And sometimes, we talk all the time about our Alaska cruise tours, but just a reminder that we have fantastic cruise tours in a lot of different areas of the world, and the Med is one of the best.
Agreed. So now let's go a little bit north. So anybody know where this place is? Any guesses? Carmen, what do you think? You definitely had to have been here, Carmen. This is a Blarney Castle, where you kiss the Blarney Stone.
There you go. Kiss the stone, I tell you. It's going to kiss the ring.
Yeah. If there's
Gorgeous.
anybody that's kissed the Blarney Stone, it has to be Carmen.
Oh my
But,
God,
yeah.
Carmen, you're beautiful. These itineraries are spectacular.
They really
Yeah.
are. You guys do a fantastic job.
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
think
God, you
I
get
think
it
a lot of
all.
these itineraries, this is the easy part of our job, is that probably the hard part is trying to decide how many of these destinations we can squeeze in on one itinerary. But we're definitely the leaders in Northern Europe. We offer itineraries through the British Isles, Iceland, Norway, Greenland, into the Baltic Sea, Scandinavia. But our core program from Southampton will be on Regal Princess in 2024, and this is our British Isles itinerary. There's really like 1 or 2 sea days on these. It's really just packed full of all these really great destinations, all the capitals, Belfast, Dublin, Edinburgh. Some itineraries will include Liverpool or Newcastle or some of the other destinations. They all will include a call to Le Havre on France. So guests can
Beautiful.
either go
Normandy, yeah.
to Normandy beaches or to Paris or even to the beautiful little towns along, Etretat and Honfleur, some of my favorite places as well. I took my
Yeah.
parents on this itinerary for their 50th anniversary, and again, like we came. I don't think we even saw anything but all the destinations, the dining room, and our beds. It was just so busy, but we
It's
saw
port
everything. Yeah,
intensive. 8 ports of call. I mean, are you kidding me? This is spectacular. What an
it's really,
amazing.
really great.
This is
Yeah.
like it's on my list. And we don't say bucket list here. We say life list. We got a lot of living
Oh,
to
I
do.
like that. Okay,
See,
well,
learning something new,
it's on my
Crystal.
life list. I like
It's on
it.
your
I'm
life
writing that
list. And I
down.
want to go it again and again and again. I
Agreed.
love
You
it.
could go back. You could
Ah,
go back time and time again and just see a different part of,
oh my
experience it
God.
all.
Look at that.
So
Gorgeous. Oh,
yeah, and then for a life list, this is also on many people's life lists, is to go to
Yeah.
Iceland, the Norwegian fjords, or to Greenland. So you'll see that we have several different permutations of these itineraries, right? So we have combinations of itineraries that include Norway and Iceland, and then we have British Isles and Iceland, and then we have Iceland and Greenland. And so there's really not a lack of departures in order to see this corner of the world. And this is all about just that pure beauty, nature, you know, these aren't big cities. You don't see a whole lot of landmarks. You're just really absorbed into the nature and just the volcanic wonders. And I think I read somewhere that someone described the Norwegian fjords as nature's masterpieces, and I completely agree with it. It's some of the most beautiful parts of the world, and I would go back to these places over and over again. So you'll
I
see
haven't
that we
done
have these.
Iceland. This is on my
Oh,
life list, by the way. And
yeah,
this year, a lot of brands went there, right? A lot of cruise ships went there. And so it's hot. It's one of those hot list selling destination things and will be hot
yeah.
for a very long time. Gorgeous.
Absolutely, and I think a lot of those ships that were probably sailing into Russia into St. Petersburg probably relocated. We certainly did that, and we see a lot of high demand for all of these places. So make sure have a look at the list of itinerary different destinations. Most of them will include Reykjavik when they go to Iceland, and then we sort of pick up the Shetland Islands and some of these other places along the way, back and forth between the British Isles, Norway, and Iceland. But beautiful, beautiful destination, and the nicest people. Great food, great. There's a lot of sort of Nordic cuisine that happens out there, for foodies that want to experience different things. This is one of my favorites too, where you get to see the midnight sun, another life list. So, put that on there, to sail above the Arctic Circle. And we time this to right over the summer solstice. So you have a great, definitely going to see the midnight sun. I have to say, this is the one place I saw the green flash when the sun actually did set, was on a Norway
Oh.
cruise. And it just kind of like went below the surface, right below the horizon, popped up again. But even living in the Caribbean for 2 years, I never saw the infamous green flash. Saw it in Norway. So, this is one of my favorite itineraries as well.
I
Are there
want to be
any cruises going
Crystal.
to see the Northern Lights? We do have a cruise scheduled in late fall for the Northern Lights. Catherine's asking about the Northern Lights. That'll be on Caribbean Princess. So that will be in fall 2024, about around the same time as we had this year in 22 and in 23. We have Island Princess going. I don't know if you follow Princess on Facebook or, any of I saw some amazing photographs of the
Yes.
Northern Lights on Island
Yes.
Princess. So yes,
Beautiful.
we'll be returning that.
Yeah, and the
So
captain went on and made an announcement because that's what I mean. This is like such a rarity, right? So it's like want to make sure
yeah,
everybody's immersed in that experience. This is once in a lifetime, right? Well, hopefully not.
yeah,
Hopefully you keep coming back. But if you're
right.
there, what a wow,
Yeah.
gorgeous.
Yep. And just as a reminder, that one's called Search for the Northern Lights.
Yes, it is.
Perfect. Love it.
All right, and then we'll also have a couple. This is an example of one of our itineraries that is going to include Greenland. So this will be on Island Princess. She'll sail from New York in July, perfect time of year, from New York over to Southampton. So it's a nice 21-day fire and ice. It'll include Qaqortoq, Nanortalik, also including Iceland, and then some of the ports along in the British Isles. Stornoway is actually, this will be our maiden call to that little island
Oh,
off the
wow.
coast, and so that'll be kind of an exciting experience. This has like the best of all of these regions: Canada, New England, Greenland, Iceland, British Isles. So
Well, and New York on the 5th of July. I mean, I do a pre and do 4th of July in New York. I
Right.
mean,
I
that
was
would
just
be
thinking
like,
that.
that's another like spectacular destination. Like the
Yes.
there you
4th,
go.
the timing, it's like you perfectly aligned it. That's
Yep.
and I love the fire and ice. Yes, very
Fire and
nice.
ice, yeah. And then I know there's still some pent up demand and some interest about returning to St. Petersburg, Russia. We won't be doing that for 2024. However, all of these destinations inside the Baltic Sea are just beautiful, wonderful cities to see. So it's still worthwhile to take this to visit these places like Stockholm, Norway. We have some that go to Helsinki as well into Tallinn. I know we'll probably get questions about 2025 if we're thinking about coming back into St. Petersburg. At this point, we're probably not, but unless things dramatically change, obviously we'll be considering that as we plan out 2025. But just want to make sure that people don't forget about Stockholm and Tallinn and
And
all
by the way,
these
Berlin
Berlin.
was such a surprise. The first time I went, well, I'm not gonna talk. I'm dating myself. Just know that the last time it was a long, long time ago. Let me put it to you this way. Okay, I even have a piece of the wall. That's how long it's been.
Yeah. Oh
But
wow.
I called it pent up desire, not demand. You know why? Because
Oh, okay. I'm
I
learning a lot.
demand to have the pent up desire fulfilled.
Pent up
And
desire.
Berlin is a happening. I mean, it was like it just blew me away because it has so many facets. It has so many experiences. It was just really, but I didn't
Yeah.
expect nightlife. I don't know why, but
Oh,
it has
I
a
spent
nightlife.
I spent a New Year's Eve in Berlin as well one time. That
Oh,
was fun.
oh, now she's
Did you,
rubbing it in, Marcia. Okay, because
Carmen,
you and I
did you hear
spent it
me
in our
say?
family room.
Did you hear me say I want to be Crystal? Like she's got a story for every one of these places.
I know.
That was
She,
a fun New Year's, but yeah,
you see how
it
she's
was
dropping that? A little, whatever. I did it once off the coast of Rio de Janeiro.
I'm just building up your pent up desire.
Oh, I got lots of them. I got a long laundry list of that of the life list stuff that I want to do. It's time to live, Crystal. We need to be
There we
global
go.
citizens. We're raring to go.
Agreed.
So excited.
Agreed. Well, speaking of living, if you're going to do one of these British Isles itineraries, the Ring of Kerry, this is also on everybody's life list. Like spectacular scenery. This is the kind of place that like everybody will come away with wanting to go back and so definitely add this on. I think we'll do this with the British Isles sailings out of Regal Princess. So definitely a popular cruise tour. And then let's just not
Everybody's
forget about
favorite.
everyone
Everybody's
loves the
favorite.
transatlantic. So we know that people love destinations. They love to see these places, but also people love sea days, especially if if you're on a vacation and you need to disconnect or stay connected, and relax. Then don't forget we have all of the ships have to go from wherever they are over to Europe in the spring, and then they all come back in the fall. So, our transatlantic itineraries are a great way to see some of the destinations, especially some of the islands out in the Atlantic Ocean, as well as just take in all those sea days to do everything on board. In particular, the Sun Princess will be doing her transatlantic. So her first transatlantic will leave from Southampton. So we are going to bring the ship up to Southampton to show her off before bringing her over to Fort Lauderdale. So that will be a popular passage as well. I can only
Yes.
imagine what you're planning, Carmen and Marcia, for her arrival in
Yes, you
October of
better believe it.
2024. Yeah,
You
like
better believe it. We're
that's
so
gonna be a
excited.
party.
It
We
really
are
is.
so
24 is
excited.
amongst us. We're very, you know what? We have a lot of collectors, guests that collect transatlantic passages. I mean, those are the
Mm,
voyages they love. I'm a big sea day person. That's why I love
me too.
our cruises to Hawaii as well because of the sea
Yeah,
days. I mean, to me that is perfection because it's just the right amount of port, but
yep,
Yeah.
sea days, right? It's
Mhm.
just
yep,
gorgeous. The ship is a destination within itself. I mean, that's how I look
yep,
at it. There's enough for me to do and just slow that pace down, which I
yeah.
love.
And just a great way to connect with your family. If you're traveling, with family or friends, just there's just all that time you get to spend together over meals and bingo and trivia and dance lessons or whatever that you're doing during those sea days. I just think it's always such a nice, memorable experience. So
Quality time.
yeah, totally.
Amen. Amen. It's not about thread count, it's about what counts. And I got to tell you,
Hmm.
that's what I love about holiday sailings is and cruising period. It's being able to have that quality time with my family where you settle down, right? We're all so
Yes.
busy. We're living life at, the speed of sound. And this
Yep.
really just brings you back to reality, to the things that
Yep.
really matter. Love
Yeah.
it.
Love it. Yeah, okay. And then just as a reminder for the Northern Europe fleet, Regal Princess, she'll be based in Southampton on the 12-day British Isles throughout the whole season. Sky Princess stays in and from Southampton. So her deployment, we mainly cater that ship towards the UK market. So that's you'll see a smattering of Mediterranean, Northern Europe, Norway, Iceland. So a lot of the same Iceland, Norway cruises you'll find on Sky Princess as well as Caribbean Princess. So she'll mainly be in Southampton throughout the whole season. And I don't think we have a repeating itinerary on Caribbean Princess at all. They're all unique, they're all different. So that's also a great place for the destination collectors to look towards that ship. So yeah, I think that's I could keep talking about Europe. I'm happy to come
I
back.
know.
Well,
Yes.
stand by because we're gonna have Q&A, and I bet you there are questions for you because we take the questions and we don't take them live. Believe me, we do our moment, and Marcia does the questions because I can't see in my little. So even though I'm seeing the presentation, I can't see the. I want to put my little granny glasses on. I
That's
got
why I have
contacts.
glasses
You
on,
know why I
Carly.
can't see? It's because it was a late night of celebration. You know what I'm
Mm.
talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, pinch me. I was so excited.
It
But you know
sounds
what?
like New Year's Eve is every day for you, Carmen.
Oh, last night it was. And let me tell you, it's so funny because they brought us like a round of champagne, right? A glass of champagne. It was actually Emmy. She's so amazing. Emmy
Yeah.
Morales. I love her with North Star. Great, great, great. We see her at Travel Age West. We see her at all these events. So all our guests at the table said, and what's the champagne for? And I'm like, so when we win, you're all ready to raise the glass. And Cal's
Oh.
like, that's bad luck. I'm like, no, it's not. I don't believe in that. We create our own luck, okay? And our travel partners know we're the best, and that's why we won. And when we got off the stage, it was like, oh, I I raised the glass to you, Marcia, because next year we're
Oh,
going to do
thank
the
you.
group category, my friend.
I
Yes, we
know.
are, and I'm going to make sure they
Next
play the
year, I'm
Brady
coming
Bunch,
for you.
the Brady Bunch song when you go up and collect the group. Love it. So Alaska, what can I tell you? Dare I say more? We have 7 ships in Alaska next year in 23. So it is critical, critical, critical that we win these awards because it really is. It's put your money where your mouth is, right? It is
Yep.
extremely important to deliver. Why? Everybody, but why? Why do? Because we own Alaska.
Yeah.
Everything that's there is ours. We control the standard of service, the quality. They choose us because of what we do and the years of heritage doing it. We are the experts, subject matter experts.
Yep.
I've said
I want to.
before, there's a cruise line that says they bought a little patch of land, a little patch of real estate. Are you kidding me? It's a piece of dust, my friend. I'm leaving you in the
Hey,
dust. Really? I'm impressed by that. I know I shouldn't say that because my New Year's resolution is to be kinder and gentler. So let's see how
I
far that works.
I want to share too that it says here Travel Weekly 19 times. So we have won 19 times, 16 times in a row, right? Because
Yep.
sometimes that gets a little confusing. So
Yesterday was
16 times
16.
in a row, and every once in a while people make a mistake, but we've 19 times total. We're great.
You betcha. You betcha. And then, of course, Travel Age West, right? We same thing. Best cruise line in Alaska.
Yeah.
Travi, I was there as well. That was really fun. Best cruise line in Alaska. Do we see a pattern here, people? I think
We
we see a
do.
pattern. And
We
and
do.
and why is it important? Because now we have our sell 3, sail free. So this is really the last webinar that we're touching upon this, right?
Yeah,
And
because
we
it ends
started
soon.
this. It does ends December
Mhm.
31st. Again, the free cruise that you win doesn't have to be in Alaska. We will give you an array of voyages that are available for you to go ahead and when you qualify and you sell the 3 and you earn it, you can go on a whole bunch of voyages and options that we'll give you. But you'll be in a balcony, and we'll give you. Remember, it's not just Alaska; it's Alaska and Alaska Cruise Tours. So
Yeah.
you can register online for the free cruise, and even though you have until the end of the year, so let's say the last thing you do before you say "Welcome 2023" is sell an Alaska cruise at 11:59 p.m. You worry, you can still sip champagne because you have until I think it's the 15th of January to go ahead
It
and
is.
submit your 3. So make
That's an
sure
important point. Remember,
critical.
if you have the booking, submit by January 15th. Because if you don't submit by then it's not going to count. So make
Yeah,
sure you submit.
You don't have to wait until your guest set. We will track that for you, and then
Yes.
we will let you know. Here's here's your free cruise. Thank you. Sell 3, sail free, ends December 31st, and this is our last webinar of the year. So it's really critical that you all know we've given you so many sales tools to do this. So there is still time, which I
Yes.
think is critical. We had a lot of launches yesterday while I was in New York, Marsha. Are we going to
I
touch
know.
those like best sale ever, which is our wave
We
offer?
are. We
And
are.
then
We
we
will
did
talk to them.
Premiere and okay, I'm getting right to it.
But
Okay,
we
get to it.
want to
But
share that the digital Alaska brochure for 23 has been updated. Anne did a magnificent job of getting
kudos
that
to Ann.
updated for us. And
Kudos to
Joe
Ann.
created a lovely QR code here so it can take you directly there. So we did print Alaska brochures for 2023, but then things changed. So
Absolutely.
the most updated version is on OneSource, and also you can see the digital version on princess.com.
Digital way to go. And I love it.
Yes.
There's your QR code. And by the way, a huge shout out to our friends, obviously, Ann, Joe. They
Yes.
do a lot of heavy lifting. And now we've got Brandon that's helping them out, which is fantastic.
Yes.
Okay, so this launched yesterday. I was in New York. Tell me how it went.
Yes.
Are we pausing? It's all good.
It's all good.
Enhanced.
Enhancing
Enhanced
for
fare
fare
bundles.
bundles.
Okay.
Starting the 14th, which was yesterday.
Amen. So
And a
standard.
reminder, yeah, and a reminder that's for sailing February 20th and beyond, right? So standard
is.
was
It
always
is.
available,
And the better value then is now Princess Plus we've had,
correct?
and then the
Yep.
Princess Premier, which we introed in May of this year. But in addition to that, I want to make sure everybody knows you said something really poignant there that I don't want them to overlook or think they didn't hear it because we got a lot of questions a couple weeks ago where we kind of like did a little insider insight like we like to do, kind of like a
Hmm.
sneak peek, and people were like, let me tell you, I've not seen so many emails coming my way, right? Because there were so many questions, and I want everybody to pause and take a deep breath. This, even though it launched yesterday, if you already had Plus and Premier at the rates that they were, including the appreciation of crew, we're not touching anything that you've already booked. If your
Yes.
clients want to upgrade to the new programs, they can and they pay the difference. Simple as that.
Yes.
Doesn't
Yes.
take effect till February 20th. So they're sailing in January. They're sailing through February 19th. We're fine. You're protected.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Want everybody to know that.
I do understand a little bit of the angst because we had gratuities,
Change.
the gratuities change, crew
Hmm.
appreciation, a change.
Hmm.
And so there was a thought that you would have to pay the difference for that as well. But no, if you've already had the Plus package or the Premier package, none of that changes for
You're
you
locked
unless you
into.
elect,
Correct.
unless you elect to upgrade to the new package offerings.
Correct. And by the way, I love the fact that there's appreciation, that we're upping appreciation. Our crew has gone through a lot. Everybody who's in the
Hmm.
cruise industry has. So I love that. And I don't think I've seen a negative comment about it. I think our guests and our
No,
clients and our travel partners are very supportive of that, right?
they absolutely
Fantastic.
are. So,
Okay,
but
so
the new Plus
tell me.
now includes the premium desserts,
Okay.
and it also includes the premium fitness.
Was it 2
And
classes? Because a lot changes here. And like if I'm out of communication for a day, it's like, okay, we decided to pivot this way. Still the 2 classes, right?
yes, yep,
Okay.
no change
Okay.
there. And the included medallion shipping, right? So
Bingo.
it's now a value of $140, just for $60 per day. Still a huge value.
Fantastic. By the
And
way, if
then,
they take standard,
mhm,
they have to pay for the shipping of the medallion or they can pick it up at the port, right?
correct. Yes.
Okay. I want everybody to
Yep.
know. So they don't want to have the it mailed to them because in Canada, we don't mail them to Canada anyway, right? So our
We've not
Canadian
gotten
folks,
that figured out just yet.
right. So the
Hmm.
Canadians have been doing it, everybody, and there's not an issue. It's going to be
Yes.
fine, truly.
Yeah.
And I think it's like
Absolutely.
$5.95 or something. I don't know because I just
And
upgraded
sometimes,
my
like,
medallion.
if you haven't completed all the information, you still pick it up at the pier anyway. Like, there's
Okay.
still
So
many people that get it at the pier.
So everybody's like, but don't we already have desserts? I know, but these are extra offerings. And by the way, I was laughing. I think I'm the first one that made the joke. I'm like, yeah, I can have the 2 desserts. And then guess what? I'm going to go and take these fitness classes.
You
Okay.
better
Because that
show up
makes
at
sense to
class.
me. You better believe it. That way I can have the desserts, or better yet, I'm doing the fitness class first. And I have a 90-minute window to eat everything and anything. It's like a furnace. Okay. Keep going.
Yes.
I love
And
it.
then
Tell me
Premier.
Premier is a lot.
Premier is
Oof.
everything. Premier is everything.
I
But
think
we've
we're the
also got
kitchen
the
sink in
reserve
here.
seating, the
Is that the kitchen
reserve
sink?
seating for Princess Theater,
Yep.
which we didn't talk about last time, right? So I
We
think
did
we had
not.
missed that point. So we've
And
got it
that's
this
important.
time. Reserve seating at Princess Theater. which is going to be great. We don't have all the details on exactly how it's going to work just yet, but it's
Oof,
coming. And we will share that with you because we have until it starts in February, right? But
that
more
is a
info coming
lot.
there.
That is a
And
lot.
then, and also instead of just covering the shipping, you also get a free medallion accessory. And I've been told that it is a unique, special accessory that
Right.
only Premier guests can get.
That's
So I
correct.
can't wait to see what that looks
I
like
heard
as
that
well.
too. And then
Yeah.
we did all the, the comparisons form. It's the next slide, right? Where we look at
Yep.
here's what Princess Standard has, because, I'm a visual person and I think your clients are too. So if you put it side by side and you tell them again, it started yesterday, February 20th and beyond. So if you had the program, you keep your program. It's all
Yes.
good. Nothing's changed from
Yes.
then. And then the enhanced fare bundles, again, whoo, because, one of the, we're overachievers here, okay? We can't just launch one thing, Marsha. No, we can't. But you know what? We got to do it. 2023 is our year. Now is the time.
Yes.
So I want to give all of our partners every possible way to sell our 15 gorgeous ships and our brand and differentiate themselves, right?
Yep. And I want
So
to share one more thing before we move on about
please,
this, and it's about groups. So groups, if you had taken out a group and the group defaulted to Princess Plus, because remember we had groups that way for a long
mhm,
time, then you also those bookings that you make into that group under that fare are also protected. So they're getting the Princess Plus package at the price that we sold it to you for originally, right? So there's no change
wonderful.
there and no increase on the gratuities for them either. If you opened a group after we changed to the default being standard, then as long as you selected the amenity to have a plus or premier prior to our change in pricing, which started the 14th, then those two are also protected. If you have a standard group and you're adding plus or premier now, then it's going to be at the new rates, right? So that's one of the benefits of taking out those groups early and selecting how you're going to promote it as soon as you get it going. So lots
Bingo.
of good stuff for groups.
Groups are big and we're winning
Yep.
next year. Fair bundle tools. Again, as always, the FAQs, it's all in there. Please download the
QR
QR
code
code.
for you.
We've worked on these FAQs. I've seen the 300,000 emails go back and forth, and our
Yeah,
sales
there's
team
good
does an
stuff in
incredible
there.
job. It is good stuff. It is a
Hmm.
very, very good thing. I mean, I think it's
Yeah.
fantastic.
All of your
Okay.
questions answered. Make sure you go there.
All there in the FAQs because I know there's a few folks that are asking questions about premium desserts and what is the juice bar. It's all in there. We're highlighting the juice bar, so make sure the FAQs are there. And it's best sale ever. Let's talk about this. Woo.
Best sale ever. I mean,
Okay.
you don't really need to say much. You can like drop the mic right here, Carmen. Best sale
Oh,
ever. Drop the mic.
okay. Well, it better be because it says it is. It's bestseller and it runs. It's really our wave offer through March 1st.
Yeah.
And again, Insider Insight sneak preview. We're gonna own love like nobody's business. This whole I
Yes.
love this boat. It's not just about I love this boat, but I love this culinary. I love this entertainment. I love this experience. I love this crew. I love this medallion class that facilitates incredible experiences on board. So love, we are going to own love like we've never owned it before. I can guarantee you that. So we're going to drop a heart because February will be, here's your inside scoop, Princess Love Fest. Wait for it.
Yes.
More to come.
Super
More to
excited.
come. I am too.
I love that.
Princess. I might have to do my nails differently, put little hearts and stuff and do red instead of the
I
boring
got red
color.
for Christmas.
Of course you did. I don't. I'm a very standard person. I do not change. It's the same thing forever. But for
Wow.
Love Fest, I'll change it. How about that?
Yes. Best sale ever. 35% off, up to 35% off. $100 deposit. Also up to $150 in spend on board. And then all of the wonderful things you've come to know and love when it comes to our best sale ever. The drinks package, the medallion net, crew appreciation, now includes the premium desserts that we've been talking about, fitness classes, and the free medallion shipping, right?
But they
And
got
this
to
is a
buy
nice,
plus for that. I mean, I want to make sure
yes,
I'm
yeah,
transparent, folks. Okay. We're not just
best
throwing
sale
it
ever
in.
plus. Yes.
Okay. Perfect.
And
And then
actually
again,
says
the real
plus
love
there, and
fest.
I missed
I
it.
know it does. I'm saying it a lot because I get this. I don't want anybody to. It's what the big print giveth, Marcia. The little
The
print
little
taketh
print
away.
taketh away. I love
Correct.
that.
And I like total transparency. No bait and switches here. I want to be clear and concise.
Right.
So when our partners are out there, you're going to rest up during the holidays. I know you are. You deserve it. You've had a tough time, but you're going to kickstart. And everybody's telling me January 9th is the official, or even though a lot of folks say wave already started when we had, the pre Thanksgiving, we had Black Friday, Cyber
Yeah.
Monday. we're on a roll. There is momentum, right? So I want
Yes.
everybody to know that we want to make sure that we make it easy for you. Super excited. And again, The Real Love Boat streaming on Paramount Plus, which is
Yep.
fantastic. Coming to the
Finale
finale.
coming soon.
Dun, dun, dun. And then let's open up to Q&A. I'm hoping there's questions. I'll let you rattle them off, and I'm hoping they have them for Crystal because that's really what a great presentation. Needless to say,
Yeah, that was amazing. Thanks, Crystal. We love
really
having you join
appreciate
us.
it.
Oh, next time let's do this on a ship together.
Oh,
Oh,
do you need somebody to
sold.
carry your bags? I'm able to do that. Just say the word, Crystal. I am there. It would be my pleasure,
We
and
can
I'm
all
at
wear
your
our
service.
sequin dresses on a ship then.
Yes, do you love it? I
Right?
know my husband came in from the gym. He goes, like he's mouthing, "Did you not change since last night?" Like I'm looking at him, like he's probably thinking that I really flew. Wait till I tell him I went straight to the after party. I have not slept an inch. And he's like, "These are all boondoggles." I'm going to tell him I didn't even bathe. I'm just in my sequence. All I need is a tiara, and we're ready to go. Okay, Q&A. Let's go,
All right,
Marcia.
Q&A. Okay, please tell me, Princess will sail round trip to Alaska from LA. We get requests
Mm,
all the time. I was going to bring this up,
Crystal, this is a
Crystal,
big
but I
one.
did not want to beg in public.
We're begging. I've heard this since day one I got here.
Yeah.
I think it's
yeah. So,
interesting.
well, unfortunately for 2024, we didn't publish any sailings from round trip from
Wah, wah,
LA. But
wah.
in our world, I know, right? You're not going to invite me back now.
No, of course we will, because we're
Of
going to
course.
badger you until you include it.
But we know it's a popular request, and so in my team and I, we always have to do the analytics behind it all, but it's
I was
always in
just
the
going to say,
consideration set.
because I'm
Yeah.
joking, but I
Yes.
want our travel partners to, you know who's in the driver's seat to get us in LA? You are. So, Galveston, if you're in Texas and you're not selling Galveston for us, guess who's not going to be back in Galveston?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Us.
Thank
Yeah.
Hello,
you.
right?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
the
This
first
is,
question we get are, will you be here, next
will
season?
you
And it's
sell
like,
us so we have a
we
reason
will
to
be
go
if
to
you,
the,
yes.
we need to go to the finance people, the commercial team, and say, look, we sold out all of Galveston. When we had the ship round trip LA, Alaska, we sold it out at the
We
highest
did.
yields and per diems. And that's what really it is, right? So
Hmm.
we
Agreed. Yeah.
need you to be behind us. So I was just putting you on the hot seat, Chris. So I know you will make sure, like a good steward, it's our fiduciary responsibility to put the ships where they're going to make the very most impact
Absolutely.
to the bottom line. Folks, we're no longer partners in pain. We will be partners in profitability.
Yes. And I
Period.
thank
There we
Crystal
go.
because she's always got an open ear for what we're hearing in the field. So she just always listens to us. So thank you, Crystal.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
and then
Next
and
question.
in the meantime, don't forget we have the ship out of San Francisco. It's very close.
Yeah,
Hello, San
it's true.
Francisco, Seattle, dare I say. Hello, folks, Seattle,
Ooh,
Vancouver. Did we
Yeah.
forget about that?
Israel and Egypt.
Great, love them both. So we are going to Israel. Egypt
Yeah,
is definitely on our horizon. So I think we're looking at that for 2025, and we've seen all
Trending
the,
big.
yeah,
Trending big.
trending big. Great. It's a great combination. Like our traditional, what we call our Holy Land cruise, used to include 2 days in Israel, 2 days in Egypt, and we hope to bring that back. So the
Yeah.
earliest would be 2025, though. So keep your eyes out for that. Any plans for a smaller ship? Good question. That's well above my pay grade.
A
and
smaller
mine.
ship.
Look at
Yeah, it's a small.
Carmen's face.
Smaller.
Carmen's like,
Why
"What's
do we need
that?"
smaller?
That
You
was
know we have a
English, Carmen,
medallion
not Greek.
class. Okay. Marsha, I have grainy eyes from staying up all night.
Sorry, you look like
Take the
really a
next one.
smaller ship.
Really? Smaller.
Okay. How can a guest get ready for their cruise if they don't have a smart cell phone? Let's answer
Oh,
that one first.
excellent.
It's a two-part question.
Go.
So on Cruise Personalizer, which you all are very familiar with, there is a section at the bottom where you can click to go to the web version of our Medallion app. So you can do the exact same things that you would
And
on
get
your cell
ready
phone
there.
on the web. And so we first came out just with the app, but we heard you loud and clear, and that was not enough. And so we created the web version as well. So that exists for you. And then also, what individual training do you have for agents for Polar Online? So we've got the Academy, right?
Award-winning
Award
academy.
winning, yes. That's done a great job with getting you guys prepared and helping you to understand all things Princess. And then we also have wonderful video collection that we have on OneSource that myself and Selena, who is our Polar Online guru, did, where it's all from starting just making a booking. It goes into how to open a group. There's lots of tutorials there. So check on OneSource for that, and then also sign up for Princess Academy.
And I tested it, by the way, because I mean, I'm obviously ocean ready. By the way, Cindy has a question, and I want to make sure because this is an important one. Can you
Sure.
explain the best sale ever? Are you saying that you must book Princess Plus for the promo? So 35% off is on a whole bunch of sailings. That's best sale ever with the onboard credit. The
Hmm.
plus part of it is if you do Princess Plus, you get all those perks. So
Correct.
you don't have to do Princess Plus, but we see such an uptick.
Hmm.
Our guests that are booked through our travel partners, it's a huge percentage that take Princess Plus. So you would be remiss if you don't serve it up along with the
Yeah.
best sale ever and the offers and the onboard credit and the
The best
35%
of
savings.
value, absolutely,
Yes,
the best value is at the Princess Plus level and up to Premier, right?
correct.
Once you've cruised that way, you won't cruise any other way. It's so
I agree.
seamless and so stress free.
I booked my
Um,
plus.
Yeah, because I'm the kind of person that used to like put money on my account so that I'd have it there, but now I don't have to do that because I've covered all the costs before I got
Yep.
there, right?
Yep.
So it's an amazing experience. It
And I know
doesn't
we're
seem like it'd
over.
be a big deal, but
I know
it
we're
is.
over. But is there another
Okay.
question for Crystal? Tell me, please, because I love the destination gurus on
Okay.
the hot seat.
We have
This one I
a
can't answer.
general. There's a general question first. Okay, there's confusion for passengers who've already booked for 24, and Carmen, you actually covered this, and the new Premier Plus. Since gratuities are included in the packages, are higher gratuities included without additional cost?
You don't have to worry
So
about it. If you
you
already
don't have to
did
do
plus
anything.
and premium,
Yeah,
you don't have to do anything. They don't have to pay extra. They choose to stay in the packages. We honor, we grandfather it. It's seamless, business as usual.
correct.
It's only if they want to upgrade that they're paying the higher rate, right?
Yes,
For February 20th and beyond.
yes. Okay, this
Oh,
is
here's
for you,
one for
Crystal.
me. When's
Yes.
the best time for Greenland and Iceland? So our Greenland cruises, those are very time specific. So it's not so much about the destination and the best time to be there. It's about all of the ice around the area. So we work
Mm,
really closely with our marine operations team on how fast the ship can go at the time of year and when's the best time to be there so that, it's almost ironically later in the season is not as good because if the ice starts
Right.
to melt and then starts to create icebergs, which, as we know, don't do
No,
well
no,
with cruise
no. We
ships.
don't go back there.
So
No
you'll see
Leo.
that.
No Leo DiCaprio comments, okay?
So the Greenland cruises are timed, in that sort of peak periods where we feel it's optimum with our marine operations team. And then Iceland has a kind of a larger window. So you'll see that we start as early as May, as late as into late August and September. So hopefully it
Fantastic.
answers your question.
Now I know our team. I
thanks,
want to thank
Samir.
everybody on the team, right? Because I know we're over, so I just want to I want to thank you, Crystal, for coming on, obviously,
Oh,
and
thank you
really
so much. So fun.
sharing the passion. I used to in my former life, I used to sit in on the deployment meetings, and there were 3 hours every week, okay, of my life. I know more about nautical miles than I think I need to know, and fuel and cost, and I'm like, no more. But
Well, this is
it
the
is
fun bit of
hard
it.
work. This is fun once it's the finished product. It's the work that goes behind the scenes that it is a lot of heavy lifting. So I want to thank you and the team because it is a labor of love that probably you're unsung heroes, quite frankly.
Oh,
Uh,
thank you. I have a
it's
really
our
passionate team.
responsibility to
So,
sell it, right? Where it's our responsibility to market it and sell it, but you're really doing all of the foundation work. So thank you. Thank you for coming on and being our guest. I want to thank our travel partners. I know that this is our last webinar, so I want to thank the amazing Princess sales team that makes this happen. And obviously, Joe, Brandon, and Marsha. Marsha, my
Marja,
co-host, right? I just like,
Yeah,
yeah, you are. I can't do this without you. It's just the dynamic. She keeps me calm. This is
it's
calming.
amazing. It's so much
And
fun.
it really,
It's
we do. We have a great time.
We're
We
all
really
worried
do.
all the way up to it, and then we get on. We're like, oh, let's have fun.
Yeah, you know what they worry that I get on like the flight. This is why we made it later today because I wanted to make sure I was on because I knew we were going to win awards and I knew I was going to wear a sequins dress. You're lucky I'm not wearing a tiara. Okay, just saying. I went to bed with one, but that's okay. That's just a personal choice. I will tell you that next year, 2023, is going to be spectacular for all of us. But
Yes.
we want to thank you. We want to thank you for your support, for your faith in us, for taking this journey with us because past few years have not been easy, but we've done it together. We have your backs. We've had a lot of changes that are travel partner friendly, shall we say. We want to be a pleasure to do business with. We had this incredible sales meeting last week. The team is recharged, re-energized, recommitted to supporting you. And when we have our first webinar, which I believe Thursday, January 12th, hold me to it, we will introduce some of these new initiatives to support you, our trade partners, to make sure that you're successful, because your success is our success. We can't do this without you. So with that, I want to wish you all, whatever it is that you celebrate, whether it's Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, happy holidays. Make it safe. Health is wealth. Enjoy your family. Carpe diem, because you get one day at a time. So seize each and every day. And we wish you the very best. But we're here for you, 2023. It's our year.
Let's
Thank you
go.
Thank
all.
you.
Make it a great one, everybody. Thanks
Happy
for all of your
holidays.
support.
Thank you.
Thanks, Crystal.
Thank you.